Welcome to the 2025 Formula F the Series Championship. We're going to begin this one in kind of a bizarre way. I have never ever had to tow through snow to get to a racetrack before, but I guess I can check that one off the bucket list. Let's get straight to the action here. This is race 1 on Saturday on pole. Stuart Patterson. Beside him is Denny Renfro. Second row is Eric Little, which is me. I'm going to start saying me because I'm tired of referring to myself in the third person. I sound too much like Elmo. On the outside, Andy Patterson, who's going to get a flyer on the start, but turn 1's a pretty wide corner, and we're going to see that the cars come together here. And Andy's going to discover that I'm a lot like Bad Chili. I just keep coming back up on you. So we're going to go into turn 2 in the order that we started, with Stuart, followed by Denny, followed by me. And then I got Andy right behind me, who's none too happy, but he'll have plenty of opportunities to get that position back, so I'm sure he's not too. Let's take a look at that start from Cody Hayhurst. Cody is new to our series, new to cars in fact. He's done quite a bit of go-karting. He's going to come in at this start a little bit back in the field, and I know what you're going to ask right here. You're going to say, Eric, did you teach him how to shift? The answer is no. I didn't learn that all by himself. Maybe he watched my videos. I'm sure he'll pick it up probably quicker than I'm going to, because I've been at it for 7 years. I still haven't gotten it straight. That's going to lose him some positions. He was side by side with Johnny Crean, so Johnny was on the inside, so he didn't really lose that position, but he did lose a position to Wayne Smith. He's got quite a bit through here, but a lot of left-right, too much turning going on, not enough straightaway to be able to gain any ground. He's going to catch up a lot going into this corner, but then have to come out of it pretty severely to make it through the corner as he catches up to the gearbox. That's going to put him a little bit behind going down this straightaway, and he's going to continue to lose a little bit of ground. But as we come up to that corner, we're going to see that Cody's willing to send it a lot further into this turn than Wayne is at this early point in the race. Wayne's going to brake, he's going to move to the inside. We're going to see Cody stay on the outside. He's going to go Buffalo Boy around the outside, and he's going to pull off that pass. So makes his first pass in competition with Formula F Series. Congratulations, Cody. Pretty good. Let's take a look at that start on board with Johnny Crean. Going to get the green flag, and you're going to see the qualifying position of Ken and Marshall wasn't quite where that tire was capable of running, and he's going to go up being passed quite quickly. Cody off to the left-hand side there had his misshift. Johnny got by him. We had some water problems on this track with all of the rain. There were some spots that were weeping. You can see that got a good spray down there for Johnny going through turn 1 from the cars in front of him, but no harm. He's in position. Things are looking pretty good, and he's going to just continue moving on. Back on board with me. New bodywork on this car, and had a little bit of a problem with it. The tail had some loose pieces inside the airbox, and when you've got small, tiny, loose pieces of carbon fiber, yeah, I'll get myself disqualified somehow. If you have loose pieces of fiberglass that are rummaging around in there, they find their way to the carburetor, and bad things happen. So I lose positions to Kinnan, to Andy, and to Eric Colson by doing exactly that. Trying to make it back up, the car starts moving again, everything seems to be fine, there's a bit of battling happening in front of me. As I said, Ken Marshall is on a mission. You can see that he is gone from this group in just a couple of corners. Coming through here, I'm going to get a good run through this corner. I kind of like this turn, and got a decent run going on Eric Polson. Going to sit back in the draft as long as I can and pop out only at the last moment. Now we're in a drag race going down to that sweeper, and it's a third gear fast corner. Left braking a little bit longer than Eric Polson, which is hard to do because that's Eric brakes deep. We take a look then another lap later here, and coming down the front straightaway. Again, we've got Polson coming back up, trying to make the outside move after getting past, and Eric driving it way too deep into that corner. Moving on, we've got now Cody has caught on to Johnny, and this move surprised me a bit. It seemed really late, but we're going to get the view from both cars, and it looks really clean. They are teammates. They have radio communication with their pits. I'm kind of wondering if the two of them had a discussion about where to let him pass. You'll see when Johnny turns in here that he turns in pretty late, and he turns in pretty slowly, so he may just be letting him go at that point, because you can see he never makes a move on the wheel that's sudden, like he didn't know he was there. and coming back on board with me. You look in front of me, you can see Andy, and up in front of him you can see that we are about to catch some Formula B traffic. You can also see that both of us slipped up a bit there, and Eric Colson's going to try to come alongside. Next corner goes back to the right, though. I'm in really good shape. But I'm looking at that traffic, and here we are another lap later catching up to it. And we're going to come through that very fast sweeper, and Andy's going to get it in a very, very bad spot. That puts him very slow out of this corner and me very fast, so I'm going to pull the duplicate move for what I did with Eric Colson. Get on the brakes a little bit later, go down to the inside, and go into that sweeper. It was a nice pass. Unfortunately, I would still suffer some problems later on. Alright, so I put this clip in here not because of the unbelievably fantastic battle that this is, but these are spec racers in front of me. This is about with maybe a lap or two to go. These guys are battling, and they're battling for, I don't remember, it's like 8th or 9th position. And I know you're going to say, well, who cares about 8th or 9th position? Well, those two care about 8th or 9th position. And I know the guys in front of me are way up the road, and those behind me are pretty far back behind the road. So if I try to get by these guys, at some point I'm going to have to split them, and that's going to mess up their race. And I don't know who it's going to benefit and who it's going to disadvantage. But why bother doing it? I might as well just hang out behind them, let them go, let them have their race, and, you know, maybe some other day it will pay off in some strange form of karma. Alright, let's move on to Sunday, and we're going to see a little bit different qualifying order here. Here's Cody. He has put the car up on the outside of the front row. So quite a bit difference in his qualifying performance on Sunday, and he is definitely ready to race. Going to get the green flag here, and he and Denny are going to go into turn 1, but back from behind, like shot from the cannon, is Kane Marshall, who is looking to try to avenge what happened the day before. And if Cody's going to leave the door open, Eric's going to come down through the inside, and I did, but Cody now has the inside for turn 2, and he's going to solidify that position without me managing to get him. So he managed to limit the loss to just the once. And speaking of Eric, me, Elmo, whoever I am today, here's the onboard with me, and you can see Ken and Marshall really up on the gearbox at Cody. So he's ready to go. There's the green flag, and he is gone. I'm going to take advantage of that distraction, but you also see a wheel on the outside of me that's trying to go around the outside. I believe that was Andy. Nowhere really for him to go. Nowhere for Kenan to go except the very back of Denny. Those two managed to hold on. Again, I've got Cody on the outside, and there's not much I can do with him here. He's going to have the inside to this corner. So I'm going to try to drop in behind and make sure that I don't give up the position to Andy behind him as well. Let's go on board with Cody for his first lap behind these two. Very competitive. People are really close together here, and we're going to see in a little while that I'm right behind this trio. Kinnon's going to try to make some moves. Denny's going to be pretty defensive. We'll see it coming up here into the next corner. Denny's going to stay inside. Kinnon's trying to draft by him, see if he's got a peek to the inside, but there's nothing there. We're going to go up the hill here. Kinnon's going to look to the outside. Denny defends the inside, but it's a 180-degree corner. You're not really going to make anything going around the outside there. We're going to dive down off of this hill into a fairly hard braking zone with the left-hand corner. And these two are really going to push this entry. You can see Kinnon trying to push him on the inside, trying to force Denny into an air. He gets the air with some brake lockup, but it doesn't do enough to really dislodge Denny from that position. As we move on a little bit later here, we are going to see a change for the lead. Kinnon's going to push him on the outside, and I don't know if he could pull off a pass in turn 1 in the conditions we were in, probably not, but he's going to push Denny here. Then he's going to line himself up for the inside of turn 2, and Denny's going to defend that a little bit, probably outbrake himself a little bit. It's going to make him slide wide, and Kinnon is in underneath to take that position from him. So this battle is going to go on. We're going to see it a bit later as well, and we're going to see it from a bit further back. Again, you're on board with me. I have been out of the car for a year. I had some things I had to get taken care of last year, unfortunately. And so to call me rusty is a bit of a disservice to Rust, quite frankly. I'm just happy that I'm hanging with these guys at this point for even this lap, but it gave a really good view of all the battling that was going on. It was a lot of fun to be up here, a lot of clean driving. It's really a good opportunity to try to learn a little bit from others. Brand new track, that helped me coming back to a brand new track where nobody really had a lot of experience. But again, I'm going to watch these guys walk away a bit because of the fact that I've just been out of the car and don't really have the experience with me right now. Andy Patterson's going to come up the inside of me, so let him go, drift it out a little bit wide. He's got that move made. Let's see if he can make any inroads on those guys. We're back now with Cody, and he's going down into turn 1. He's got the leaders a little ways up in front of him. So you can see that they have managed to pull a gap, but now they're starting to battle again. And yeah, this is going to pull Cody right back up to them. Battling with the lead 2 when you're only sitting about 7 laps in on about a 15-lap race, you run the danger that you're going to make it a 3-car race, and eventually they do. Eventually Cody catches him back up. In fact, Cody goes on to take the victory in this race. I unfortunately don't have that footage. His SD memory card ran out somewhere along the way. Very unfortunate, but he's on the radio right now asking, what do I have to do to catch these guys? And they said, just let them keep battling just like they're doing right now. Eventually, you will get back to him. And he's going to continue to keep his head down, put in good laps. Those two are putting on an exciting race, but all of that excitement is leading to him catching it. Alright, back on board with me. Andy has a bit of a slip there going into the right-left combo that leads out onto the front straightaway. I'm going to see if I can make something of this. And I've got a bit of a run, carrying a bit more speed through there. Have a bit of a draft, but not much. Andy's bodywork is really clean, so it's hard to pick up much off of him. Andy's going to remember this from earlier, and he's going to say, nah, not this time, and he's going to stick it around the outside, and everything's good. Another lap later or so, and I'm on the outside letting Stuart Patterson by. I've lost the group in front of me. I know that I'm not fast at this point. Might as well let him go and try to get him. You probably saw that dirt that was back there, and we were trying to figure out how somebody got off the track there and how they left dirt in that position. It almost looked like they got in the dirt at the apex and then went full throttle and threw a rooster tail of dirt onto the track. We realized a little bit later that looking at it, that wasn't where they went off the track, that was where they came back on. And that's kind of surprising. We figure it must have happened on the first lap, must have been towards the tail end of the field, because there's no way that you could have gotten off at the exit of turn 1, ran across the dirt, and come back on just after the apex of turn 2 without picking out the entire field, and this was towards the back. So caused a little bit of problems. It was slippery, eventually went away, but not too big of a deal. I have to admit, at this point, I'm surprised I'm still this close to Stewart, but I'm going to stick in there as long as I can. Again, just trying to learn what I can, treating this as a test day, try to see if I can turn better laps and learn something. Remember I said earlier that when you're trying to win a race, that maybe battling for the lead early on is not the best of ideas, because you can invite third place right back up on you. We're going to see it here again. We've got a battle going on for the lead between the front two, and this is allowing Cody to catch them. Cody's he's making his ground. He ran good, consistent laps, and they probably weren't there with what the lead two had to offer. But when the lead two are doing battling, it's really hard to stay out in front. And then if you're battling and you catch lap traffic, this is exactly what can happen, and you can see Cody is now right on them. And he's going to be trying hard right here to stay with these guys. You can see he's really working the wheel to try to get every last bit out of that car coming through that corner. He's going to stick with these guys, and he's hanging on. Not sure what the hand gesture there was, but maybe a bit of excitement because he's there with them. Again, we're going to see coming down this front straightaway that Kinnan is going to get quite the run on Denny, and earlier I had said I wasn't sure if you could pull off an outside pass going through one. Well, Kinnan's going to prove that you absolutely can, and he stays on the outside. The two of them give each other room. That was tough to do because with that water down there in that turn 1, it got really slippery on the inside, so a lot of faith between those drivers to hang on to the car and make sure that nothing happened. Kinnan does get the position, moves on. We are going to catch some more traffic here. This is Sophie Slowick. It was her first day in that car. She had brought another car to the track with her. They had some problems with it. She came back on Sunday and rented this car, never having been in it. So this is only the second time she's in this car. She was in it for qualifying, and now here she is in the race. Sophie was fantastic. Her family's fantastic. Hope to have them back out there with us. Get a little bit more time in that car, and she's going to be right there with everybody having some fun battling it out. You can see, though, getting past that traffic put Cody in a position where maybe he was able to compete for this. He's now right there with Denny. We're also going to see that this is going to be the end of the 3-car battle. It's going to turn into a 2-car battle. Not sure exactly what happened, but we're going to see right here that Kinnan breaks something, and the 2 go by, and it is now just a 2-car battle. Unfortunately, I don't have the end of this for you because this is where the recording stopped on Cody's car, but a really good battle between them, eventually Cody taking the win. I showed you all where Stewart got by me. I'm still staying relatively close to him, but I'm a bit surprised. This is the very next lap. I'm a bit surprised by how early he braked going into one, or maybe I missed my brake mark. Who knows? Stranger things have happened, but I'm really going to catch him here, and that's why I'm going to send it down the inside, mainly because I'm trying not to run into his gearbox. I don't know if he was unhappy with me and decided to spray me down, or that was just his normal line, but either way, it's just water. I mean, there was snow on the car 2 days ago. And this is how I end up going off the track and letting Colson by, pushed it a little too hard in that car. Thank you to our partners at CalClub and Hoosier Tire West. Thank you to all the camera cars.